Hello and welcome to World of Tanks on the PC. Yeah, this game is around for quite some time now. It was released, I think, 2 years ago in 2011. I'm currently playing on the European server. Um, Around the world there are different kind of servers. Each have their own territory. You can't play with other people on other servers. So there are American servers, Asian servers, there are Russian servers, so they are independent. But we here in Europe, we play on our European servers. They all have different events and, as I said, different accounts. This is what you start off when you're starting the game for the first time. Okay, you won't be in the premium hangar. It will be looking a little bit more rustic when you're starting. But in essence, you will have this tier 1 tank for each nation. This is the tier 1 for the Chinese. And yeah, we'll start off with the basic components in there. What I would recommend everyone doing when he starts the game is doing the battle tutorial up here. It gives you at least the start of the game, how to maneuver the tank, how to shoot, gives you the absolute basics. Absolutely recommended to do this first, and then you start playing. You're going to go to battle with your tank for the first time. You will be faced against other tier 1s. It will be a tier 1 battle only, and you're starting to collect research points that you can put into your equipment, starting to get guns with more penetration, more damage, start getting new turrets, new radios to see enemies earlier, new engines to be faster. Very important, new tracks. Tracks are very important. They are not only let you turn faster, they also up your the limit of how much you can carry. So these you're usually always getting first, because the newest engine isn't worth anything if you can't put it in your tank, because your tank is already at the weight limit. So always get the tracks first, and then you're making your way through the tech tree. This is the tech tree for the Chinese. As you can see, I haven't been played it at all. It currently only has the light tanks going into mediums. You see these little signs, they show what kind of tanks it is. And here it branches off into the heavies. I'm currently playing very much in the German tech tree, a lot. As you can see, every tank that has this checked sign here, I do own. Also, every tank that has this elite symbol here, these crown leaf symbol, it means that the tank is elite. It's an elite tank, meaning that for this specific tank, for example, let's take this Jagdpanzer 4, I have all modules researched. It gets the elite status, which I will come to later what that means. I'm trying to give you a very short introduction to the game. There is very much depth in here. I try to keep it as short as possible. The reason for this whole video is the announcement of the Xbox One, and the whole announcement at E3 showed that there will be an Xbox 360 version of World of Tanks. It won't be as much. It won't be having as much features as this one when it starts off. It's currently in beta, but it might end up being as big as this. So if you want to see where it came from, what you're going to be expecting, this is what I'm showing you right now. So what is important to know, except for the in-game? Yeah, you can choose here your different countries. You can go for all nations or the individual ones. Because I already have a lot of tanks. I think I'm I'm already over 100 tanks. I need to go individually, because let's take the Germans for example. As you can see, there are a lot. You can further sort those things by going into the different kind of tanks. I'm going to explain all of those right now. So you got the light tanks. Those are the ones you're usually starting with. Light tanks always have very less armor. They are not very good protected, not much health, but they are very fast and very agile. The role of a light tank in battle often is being a scout. So it's not nothing special that a light tank would have camo net on there and just sitting in the bushes for spotting targets for artillery, for other tanks, for tank destroyers. But you need to keep your finger from your from shooting, because yeah, you are just a spotter. You don't fire yourself, because when you're firing, you need to be sure that you can get your ass out of there, because yeah, as I said, you don't have much of protection, and once you fire in this game, your detection goes way high. Your whole camo and yeah, your turning goes away, and then everyone will see you on the minimap. So you're just a spotter. Be careful. Those are the ones that die really fast. The mediums are the best of both worlds. Mediums do have a lot of damage potential. They can really do much damage. They also, in some cases, have very high penetration value. Very nice tanks. You're still very much mobile, but you have a little bit more of health on there, but you're still not indestructible. Mediums are for people who really like to move around a lot, to be very mobile, to try to get behind the enemy line, to try to catch someone from the side. I really like them a lot. That's the reason why in the medium line I have my current only tier 9 tank. This is the tank in the tech tree down here, the Leopard prototype. It's my only tier 9. In any of the other countries I'm not there, because yeah, if you get to the tier 9 and tier 10s, they get very expensive, and the research costs are way up there. So you really choose wisely what you're going through. So yeah, that's my only tier 9. Yeah, I do have a tier 9 artillery, but I never got those. I never researched those as it was tier 9. That's a change in a patch. It was tier 6 just a few patches ago, and then they moved it to tier 9. That was a gift. I didn't put that in there. But this one, yeah, this one I really worked my ass off for getting. Leopard, very nice thing. I'm really looking forward trying to get to Leopard 1. But as you can see, 6 million credits, a lot of stuff. But I was on the way of explaining the different tank types. So these are the mediums. Next up we have the heavy tanks. The heavy tanks as the name suggests, have a lot of armor. Normally the heavy tanks are the ones pushing the line. They are the ones in front. They are the ones that go up there, go out there, push. They are the ones in front. The guns are normally okay. They're not as good as the guns on the mediums, but they are okay. As I said, the main reason, this is a tank like you would have a tank in your online RPG. So your typical warrior with a shield. This is what those are. Very high armor value. Mostly not very fast. This is your heavy tank. Next up we have the tank destroyer lines. Tank destroyer, yeah, like here the Ferdinand or Young Panther 2. The tank destroyers are snipers, your usual sniper. From the front they are mostly pretty good armored, I would say at least at the level of a medium tank. Usually they have much of sloping on there, which is also good. The sloping of the armor, the angling, always is good for raising the potential armor value. Flat surfaces are always a bad thing, but yeah, the tank destroyers are snipers. Usually hide in bushes, looking for enemies, hoping that some light tanks or medium tanks scout targets for you. You can see I also have equipped camo net on here, which raises my my camouflage level even more. I also have trained camouflage on all of my crew members, raising it even higher. It really is shooting and hoping to be and stay undetected. This is your typical role of the tank destroyer. And last, at least, the so-called scumbags of of World of Tanks, the artillery. I was a very heavy artillery player. I really started off the game playing a lot of artillery. I really much like it. You will see in a gameplay later showing how artillery works. Playing artillery in World of Tanks very much is completely different game. You're not playing in a first or third person view. You're playing in a eagle eye view from above the battlefield. You have a target that zooms in, and it's very hard to hit something, because you always have to measure in the flight of the bullet, how long it takes to fly from one side of the battlefield to the other, your target. If it's a normal target, it's also moving, and it's like hitting a target that doesn't want to be hit. But artillery makes a lot of fun, but it's very hard to play, and it's a completely different game. And they're not much loved in the game, because you can guess if you get hit by one of those. I've seen one hits. They have been nerfed a lot, the artillery, in the last patch, but still they can make a lot of damage. And you learn as a normal tank player to hide behind rocks, to look for a cover, because if you are on the open and the enemy has artillery, expect to be shot at. It happens. So yeah, these were the different classes of tanks. The next thing that I want to explain is a very big difference in tanks. What you can expect. What tanks? How can I say this? There are normal tanks. Let's have a look at the tech tree. There are normal tanks. This one with the white font that you will get by going through the tech tree, researching and buying them, coming to the next, going to the next tech tree, going to the Grille, next, getting this, Hummel, and so on. You're just researching and then going through the brackets. But as you can see, there are some tanks in here with this golden font, here and here, the Löwe, the Panther M10, the Schmalsturm, T15. These ones, they are not connected to the brackets. What are those? Those are premium tanks. These tanks you will not get by researching or buying it with in-game credits. These silver credits. You won't get them by that way. You will only get those with real money by getting gold. You will only get those with real money. Those are the premium tanks. They vary from tank to tank how much they cost. As you can see, the German line, I already got all of them. Let's have a look at somewhere where I don't. Here's one missing, but let's go to the French. I think, yeah, here's the French one. This is one of the few tier 8s that I don't own. As you can see, it costs 11,900 gold. I think that's the equivalent to about 40 euros. They really are very expensive at tier 8, but those premium tanks have a tremendous advantage. Let's see, do I have any matches? No. A premium tank will always give you money. What do I mean by this? When you're fighting in a normal tank, especially if you get to tier 8, especially tier 9 and very much in tier 10, you're starting to get at a point where you don't earn money by just playing. What do I mean by this? Imagine a game where you die very soon. You do a stupid mistake, you drive around a corner and tank destroyer is waiting for you and you're dead. You die very soon, you haven't done any damage yourself, you have just the cost for repairing your vehicle and that's it. In that case, your income of silver credits will be lower than the repair costs. And then you're starting to make minus. It happens. Especially if you don't have a premium account like I have, where you always get a little bit more of money, a little bit more of experience. You will really get trouble getting from tier 7 to tier 8. And yeah, it gets really hard. But if you have a premium tank, premium tanks always give you money. I mean, you can die at the first, one of the first in the game, you will still make more or less equal 0. You will not lose money. But if you are at least a little bit skilled, and you make some damage, or even you have a good game, you can expect a tier 8 to give you something about 50,000 of the silver, 50,000 to, I've had battles with up to 100,000 with just one game. You won't get this with the normal tier 8 ones. One of the best games I had in here was maybe 50,000. So yeah, these are money makers. These are the ones you buy them once, you have them for all life, and they will just print money for you. And they have another very good benefit: the premium vehicles. Let me show you this with my German tanks. Where we have it? Here. Here is the Löwe. This is a premium vehicle. It is a heavy tank, as you can see by the symbol. It's a heavy tank, but it has no crew currently. And that's the normal thing you will do. If you are in a tech tree for your country that you want to play, and you get yourself a premium vehicle, you don't need to get a crew. You don't need it, not primarily, because you can just take a crew from another vehicle and put it in there. But there is a little but. You need to have a crew from a vehicle that is from the same class. So I can't put a crew from a medium tank like this one in there. Doesn't work. Or I can't put a TD crew in there. Doesn't work. It has to be a heavy tank. Has to be. Everything else is absolutely no problem. It could be a different tier. It could be crew from. It could mix and match. No problem. It just has to be a heavy. So, for example, you see, I have 5 crews that I could put in there, and luckily my Tiger 2 has 5 crew members. So I can just send my whole entire crew to the barracks. Now they have left the Tiger 2. When I go to the Löwe, now I have those available to me, and I can just put the people from my barracks into the Löwe. And as you can see, they are trained to the Tiger 2 here. You can see it. They are trained to the tank, but still they can be used in the Löwe. This number here, the 100%, it isn't in red. They can be used. And like this, you can play your crew 2 times. So I already played this today. Those tanks. There are tanks that I didn't play. Here you can see each day you have this bonus multiplier up here, because we have a special weekend. This weekend it's ×3. Normally every 24 hours you have only ×2. But imagine I play with my Tiger 2 and cash in this 2 times multiplier for my crew, and then, like I did, put the crew in here in the Löwe. Löwe still has 2 times. I can do the very same, which means the crew efficiently has got the 2 times multiplier double. So you're training your crew even faster. This is very much another benefit of having a premium tank. You can use it to train and build up your crews from your whole branch of tanks from the same class. And when you're done with the tank, with your crew, you can just send it again to the barracks and put them back into your Tiger, just like that. So those were the difference between having a premium and non-premium tank. The premium tanks have no research. Also, they come with a pre-fitted outfit of modules. They only have this stock version. Normally, a premium tank should be from its potential power output somewhere between having a stock tank and like a medium. A premium tank will never be from the damage output and the potential on the same tier like a fully researched tank. So let's see, for example here the Panther 2. This would be the stock one if you only had activated these first tier of modules. I have put in the better ones here in the higher tier. A premium of the same caliber would be somewhere in between. So, what else is important? Premium account. You might think about this. You don't need it at all. You can play your World of Tanks completely for free. As I said, only when you're starting to reach 7 or tier 8, it will get very grind heavy. But before that, just go for it. Makes a lot of fun. You won't need it. It takes longer, of course, but you won't need it. The things that you need real money for are things like the premium account, which lets you level faster. You can also use your real money to exchange into silver credits. So for I think 1,000 gold, you will get 400,000 of the silver credits. But I wouldn't do this. I mean, 400,000 with my premium tanks, I can do in an hour, 1.5 hours. So this is a really bad investment. You can also use your gold to exchange experience that you have on your tanks that you don't use anymore. As I said, once your tanks hit the elite status, where you have everything on your tank researched, they can be you can decide if you want to keep collecting experience. That would be like this. If I uncheck this, I would start collecting, still collecting experience. Does this one have some? Yeah, here 4,000. I don't need it anymore, but I still can collect experience. Or I can just check this one, activate the accelerate crew training, and then I don't collect experience, and every experience that I get will go into the training. If I don't check it, and if I choose to collect experience, I have the possibility here to take this collected experience on there that is not useful to me, as it is stuck to the tank, and convert it to this one here, free experience. Free experience is very useful in this game. You get free experience also by just normal playing. I think for every 100 experience that you get, 4%, 4 to 5% you will get automatically as free experience. It's not much, but you accumulate free experience over time. So what's so good about free experience? Free experience is very important when you get a new tank. For example, let's go into the tech tree. Imagine you are in the British tech tree. As you can see, I've placed some in here as well. And you reach, as I did here, the Comet. And you can see I'm starting to collect the experience to unlock the Centurion. If I unlock it and buy it, barely, and I'm completely out of experience, when I get it, I will be again at zero experience on this tank. I would start to play this tank to accumulate more experience to start unlocking all these components. But when you're getting a new tank, it will only be the stock tank. It will only have the modules here in this line, and everything else in here, if I don't have it researched from a previous tank, will not be available to me. As you can see, I have only available this gun. This gun needs 15,000 experience, this gun needs 16,000, and also might need this turret to function. So the stock tank might be very crappy. It might have a gun that at this level doesn't even penetrate or makes very low damage, and the thing is totally slow because it doesn't have the right engine or whatever. Then here comes in the free experience. You unlock your new tank and can directly put the free experience to good use and start unlocking things before you even drive the tank, and get it out there already with an upgraded turret, already upgraded tracks, so the tank isn't as crappy as it would be, and your team will appreciate you're not having a tank out there that is more target than a competitor. So that's the free experience. As I said, you need gold to convert. That's one of the things that you need real money for. You don't need to do it, as I said, you accumulate it by normal playing, but it takes a long time. Yeah, and the last thing that you can do that you need real money for is the exterior. So you can see some of my tanks have this nice camo on there, which also has the function that it raises your camo value, meaning it lowers the detection from my tank. When you want to have it, you need to pay for this. It costs, as you can see, gold permanently. Of course, you can get the same for in-game currency, but then it is only it will expire after a certain time. You want it permanently, you need real money. And you also need to consider you need it always 3 times, because different maps need different camo. So you have one for winter, for summer, and for desert. I always wait on higher tanks. It doesn't make sense to put camo on tanks that are, I don't know, level tier 5 or lower. That's just nice to have. On the higher tiers, it really is a good thing to have camo on there, especially on the TDs or on the SPGs. But camo it's a nice thing. I always wait if there is an event where the camo is at half price. you can usually just wait for them. That it's not necessary so that you need it at once. But yeah, camo. It has a function, as I said. It raises your armor value. Not your armor. Excuse me. It raises your. It lowers your detection value. But it is very much convenience. And the last thing that you need real money for, really, is buying new slots for your tanks. I don't know how many you start with today. You have your tier 1 tanks in every nation that you start off with, so you have at least, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of those tier 1s. If you say, oh, I just want to use only the American tier, you can sell all the others. You can just rebuy them anytime. So you already have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 free slots in there for other tanks. But if you want to start collecting tanks like I do, you always need a free slot, and every slot costs you 300. They also go on sale. I wouldn't say frequently. Sometimes the sale takes a couple of months, 3 to 4 months, if they go on sale. As you can see, I always keep a healthy number of free slots if I want to start playing around. At least that it takes me to the next sale. But if you want to start collecting, you need to get slots, and they cost real money. Even if you get yourself a premium tank, they don't come with their slot normally. There are offers on the page where you get premium tanks that come with a slot, but normally if you buy them in the game through the tech tree, you will need the slot first. One other thing, yeah, you can use your money to buy crew training. It's not important, but you can do that. Let me show you this. We need to go to the tech tree. Where is a tank that I could potentially buy? This one, for example. Every time when you buy a new tank, you have the option of 3 kinds of levels of crew training that you could get. As you can see, 50% you get for free, but expect a 50% crew to be very crappy. What do I mean with crew training? What does this impact on? Crew training means you have a tank that drives slower, moves slower, aims slower, reloads slower, has a worse camo value, everything. Your whole crew is bad. Your radio range, your tank will only be at the best efficiency if it's 100%. So getting a tank from 50 to 100 takes a long time. I think playing it really frequently, that at least 2 weeks of hard work. So 50% when you start with the game, that may be okay, but with the higher tanks, go to at least 75. You can see 75 you get for silver credits, so this is still without real money. You start at halfway to 100, it is 25% more than the 50. This will take you a week. If you're lucky and you have some sort of event like this one where you got 3 times the experience, or sometimes they have 2 times crew experience, or like I showed you, if you got a premium and you can level your crew effectively 2 times a day, you get very fast to 100. But they offer you directly, put in 1000 credits and you have 100% at once, which is very nice. That's real money. You just buy yourself time, nothing less. There is currently nothing in the game that I would say is pay to win. There was a little bit of pay to win in the game, but they changed that drastically. Let me show you this at last, rounding up my little speech about what you can buy, what you need real money for. So there are something that you can buy for your tank itself, where you could buy money for. So as you can see, every tank, most of the tanks, have three kinds of ammunition. So you got armor piercing ammunition. This is your normal, the ones that I usually use, at least on the normal tanks, that have good penetration, very good damage, and they just cost a reasonable amount of credits. Then also for in-game credits you have high explosive. High explosive, as you can see, doesn't have a high penetration value, really crappy one. Those will never, or very few cases on very lower tier tanks will penetrate. But that's not what they're made for. Those things, as the name suggests, explode, so they will always make damage. These armor piercing ones will only make damage if they penetrate. This one will always make damage. As you can see, the damage is not so bad, but mostly when it explodes on the surface, it will be highly reduced. But if you're fighting against higher tier enemies that you would in no way, shape or form penetrate, these ones will just bounce. These will at least do some damage. And then there are these ones, the composite, or they may be called another way. In game, they always call it the gold ammunition. Excuse me. The gold ammunition, because it also can be bought for real money. These one are the best of two worlds. They have the damage and even higher penetration. These ones will in most cases go through and make the damage. So yeah, these are the ones that some people said that they were pay to win. But that's not the case anymore, because as you can see now, I think it was a couple of patches before, they changed it so that you can buy this for in-game credits as well. But as you can see, these one cost 252. These are 4,400. Just imagine I would go in there and load my tank completely with those. You can see that's a lot of money. You will not do this on a day-to-day basis, because you can't upkeep using those. There are some tanks in the games that have really crappy guns that might have some premium ammunition on there for the case that you may find a tank on the battlefield that you can't penetrate. You switch in-game from one to the other, and then use for one or two shots the premium one to penetrate. In other cases, as you can see, I don't use it at all. The other scenario where it gets highly used, the premium ammunition, is in the clan wars. As you can see, I'm not in a clan. You need at least a whole group of 10 to 15 regularly playing members going into the clan wars, where you have the whole map of Europe and you're fighting about over certain areas. They use as every advantage that they can get, so they always have very high tier tanks, and yeah, they do use premium ammunition. I would guess when you go to the esports side of things, they also might use premium a lot. For the casual player, don't do it. It's not necessary. Learn to hit the right spots, so lower glazes or gun ports or the side of the tank. If you can, the back of it. That's much more helping than using gold ammo. Just learn where the weak spots are on each and every tank. helps you way more. So I've talked a lot. Is there anything else? I'm just thinking about if there are any questions any, that I didn't answer in here, or if you've seen anything that you say, Ollie, what's that? What's going on there? Just ask. I will answer in the forum, or I even might make another video. Just ask. After this video, I will put up another lengthy video that I might cut into two pieces of me, Hunter VP, and a colleague of mine here from Germany. We three made a little co-op game one evening of us, just screwing around. Hunter is currently, I think he's at the Cromwell level here, is at tier 6. So we were playing a lot of tier 6 and below games. We also had a lot of fights with this little baby here, the TOC 2. Very unique, I would call it, premium tank. They call it the Bismarck. It's like a ship, very slow, lumpy piece of tank, but it has, as you can see, 1,400 hit points. So if you compare it to a Churchill, it has nearly half. This also is a heavy tank, but it has half the HP. So this really is a beast. So if you want to see this one in action, stay tuned. So for this one, this is Ollie from Germany, signing out.